my baby, my Valentine, yeah. Boy, now you done making my temperature dead rise. If you leave me, I go die, I swear. You are like the oxygen I need.
Hi guys, my name is Noni Matigela. Welcome to the Noni M podcast. So today, I just want us to check in, first of all. How are you guys doing? How is everyone going in their business? Because wow, I just saw something very interesting. Apparently, it was out on the news yesterday already. Just finished bathing, Gesana. So I'm sweating and stuff. But I thought, let me report to you about this. Haibo, guys. Correctional Services akakuthandi ukuphuma ekuthetheni. Correctional Services ufuna sibe la nywe. Correctional Services will never disappoint us. Let's just accept leyo nto le. Ne? Let's just accept ukuthi bayakuthanda ukuba ku spotlight. Njani kaloku sana kuthiwe ePollsmor prison in Cape Town. There go garden Ntontoni. That side labelungu. There is a prisoner uyanga Ntontoni or out and about who was serving a 6-month sentence. Ebesenzani ngaphandle for uba makabe ne free reign. Ebesenzani bekutheni, and apparently he's a thief who's always in and out of jail. So these people, guys, Correctional Services wants to always be on the news. I am telling you, they want to always be on the news. The other funny part about that story, in fact, about that story is that they're talking about the escape of Uyanga, and they have Tabo Bester as a picture. That had me on the floor, and I'm like, Tabo Bester uhlangana kuphi yena apha ngoku wayinimfaka ungenaphi? Guys, ungenaphi uThabo Bester kuyo yonke lento? Ungenaphi uThabo Bester? Why bemfaka? Why? Because uThabo Bester wasixelela ezikhantu uba I did not escape. I walked out. They opened doors for me. They opened the bloody doors for me. So don't say I escaped. I did no such thing. uThabo has penned down a lot and has told us a lot, Sana, through his lordship, okay? Because he was speaking for himself through his lord. Yeah. So thina samamela because kwakungulordship noThabo. Lordship Lordship was so irritated but had to listen to that entire situation. But he did not walk out. He did not escape. He walked out. Haibo. Then there is that report about busy Correctional Services. Like for years and yes, Nina, you always make sure you are on the news. You love being on the news. That I can assure you. Anyway, I'll see you on our next video. I just wanted us to talk about that because it's very funny for me. As weird and as deadly and as so many things that video is, as that report is, I'm not shocked by anything that has to do with the Correctional Services. It's been years. I grew up knowing ba amabanjwa ayaphuma jail. Amapandinti ayaphuma jail at kube kuyenziwa manhunt. I think they love the hide and seek between them and the inmates. They love it. At this point, I am sure because I'm turning 40 this year, and the Correctional Services is still doing that with the inmates. Njani sana? Jwang? No, bayayithanda lanto yoba spectacle ukuthi kujongwe kubo. They prefer that Correctional Services. There's no way. I can't with them. I'm done. No way, Sana. There's nothing we must say. We can't say anything because wow, Correctional Services. Wow. I'll see you on our next video, guys. I thought let me just come through and say siyanibona, Correctional siyanibona. We see you. We see you, what you want us to see you doing. We see you, so please see us see you, okay? Sharp.
Right, let's get into this conversation now. A manhunt has been launched for an inmate who's serving 6 months for theft and trespassing who escaped from Cape Town's Pollsmor prison. It comes as Correctional Services Department officials appeared before Parliament's Portfolio Committee to discuss remedial action recommended by the Public Protector in her report on Thabo Bester's jail break. The convicted murderer and Facebook rapist allegedly staged his death in a fire. This was at the then privately run Mangaung prison in May of 2022. Let's speak now to the National Correctional Services Commissioner, Makgoti Thobagale. Commissioner, good evening to you and thank you very much for your time. Quite an embarrassing moment here for the department. My understanding is that you were still taking the committee through the Public Protector's recommendations about the Thabo Bester escape, and then there was news about this person, Yanga Waiti, an escapee who's 35 years old. Any leads as to where he might have gone?
Well, good evening, Goli. It is true that we appeared before the Portfolio Committee to present a report on how we complied with the recommendations of the Public Protector. And our report indicates that we did comply. And the Portfolio Committee did commend the department for complying. We presented 3 documents to the Portfolio Committee. The first one is an escape prevention strategy and guidelines that we have issued out to privately managed correctional facilities, Kutama and Mangau. The second one is a procedure on how we would handle anonymous reports and how we would protect whistleblowers. And the third one is a strategy on how we would enhance our security.
Yeah.
The Portfolio Committee raised issues that we need to address, some gaps, but also we presented limitations that we have. Yes, it is true that we have an escapee from Pollsmor management area or correctional facility. The track and tracing team is working 24/7 to ensure that we get this offender back. We have been following leads, and we are working with the law enforcement agencies also on the ground, but it's what we are doing around the clock.
Yeah. Just explain briefly, Commissioner, why hospitals have become high-risk locations for escapees.
Well, in all correctional settings, there are areas that are high risks. And it will be, when it comes to movements outside correctional facilities, movements to court, movements to hospitals, where offenders have to go and work in the farms. This offender who escaped was actually deployed to work at our dog unit, the K9 unit. Now, if you check the position of the K9 unit, is at the far end of the correctional facility, secluded closer to the first line of a perimeter fence.
Yeah.
So these are high-risk operations, and that's why we need to deploy maximum numbers with regards to security personnel that are supposed to, ensure that this offenders don't escape. This offender was left with less than 2 months. He was classified a monitor. He had worked at the kitchen. He had worked outside the walls, but within the correctional facility. He was not classified as a high risk. He was a low risk. And we have now launched an investigation as to what is it that might have led to a lapse in security and to him actually escaping. This is an offender that was sentenced for 6 months. But when you check the profile, you will realize that this is an offender that has been in and out correctional facilities. He was sentenced for theft.
Yeah. Finally, Commissioner, there will always be a finger pointing at the prison officials. And that is why there is the element from the Public Protector that talks about the officials' negligence. How do you plan to nip that in the bud?
Well, I went to Pollsmor Correctional Facility today. I had a meeting with the new regional commissioner and the management there. They presented to me a preliminary investigation report I indicated to them that that report is not adequate because it doesn't address some areas of security lapses that I have identified myself, and some of them are captured in that report. One of the things that I also indicated to them is that I will not accept a report that does not indicate what consequence management steps are going to be taken. I've given them until tomorrow to give me a report that talks to consequence management.
Professor, rather the Commissioner of Correctional Services at the department, Makgoti Thobagale, thank you very much for your time.
Survive, I'll be honest.